So now that we've moved on from the game, I think it's important to talk about transfers. And you mentioned there Alexander Isak. He's going to be a topic until the Monday deadline of the transfer window. So it's interesting because there were lots of reports saying that there might be movement after the game, and I don't think anyone necessarily expected to hear anything in the immediate aftermath of the match. But now that there's less than a week left, surely the next days we'll know more about this because there has to be a resolution.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the deadline's on 1st of September, so they got to get moving. Yeah, something has got to give now, and for all the kind of talk hasn't there been, I don't agree with this reporting at all. Really, it's been like this is a non-issue. They've decided not to sell. Well, it's still rumbling on, and this is not just because people are keeping it going. There hasn't been a definitive stance on Newcastle. Maybe we do actually see that in the next couple of days, and he say, okay, even if he doesn't sign a contract, we're not forced. He can stay anyway. That is absolutely in play as a possibility. But I still lean towards maybe he's going to come, because I just think, why has it not been ruled out yet? Why are we in this position? Maybe I'll be completely wrong on that, but it's just a feel you get from it that it's still in play. And until someone says it's not, then you are going to feel that way. So, yeah, let's see. It's all up there. Liverpool are still waiting for that green light to come and bid. And if you get that, you'd be amazed if the deal doesn't get done from there, really, because I'm pretty sure they've both got similar ideas around what that fee would be. But it's just that waiting game now. And like I say, maybe I lean on the side of optimism there, that because it hasn't been ruled out yet, there's a possibility that now this game is out of the way, that it gets done. But there is just that possibility, isn't it, that the Newcastle's owners decide to dig their heels in. So you can't say in a concrete way either way, but these are decisive days, really. And it's kind of, keep an eye on your social media and see what the updates are, I guess.
Oh, I'll be there. I'll be watching social media every day. But there's been lots of talk about Newcastle potentially looking for both an Isak replacement and a Callum Wilson replacement. And I know you voiced your opinion on this online, but is there a possibility that Newcastle maybe sell Isak, even if they say only bring in Strand Larsen? Because people have made the point that Callum Wilson barely played last season, so therefore they don't necessarily need to replace his minutes. So do you think that one player in will be enough for Newcastle to sell?
Yeah, I don't particularly agree with the argument there around kind of, Strand Larsen is not a Wilson replacement because he would be available for more minutes or what. Because obviously Newcastle's idea is to have someone who actually plays instead of Wilson, who is capable of backing up your main striker. And, Wilson, there's been seasons where Wilson has played significantly more minutes while Isak has been there than 300 he got last season. He was just permanently injured, wasn't he, or coming back from something and not quite right. So I don't buy that as an argument, really, that, oh, well, if they're getting Strand Larsen, that 100% means Liverpool are getting him, because I just don't think that's the case. I think Newcastle in an ideal world would have two strikers who are available for a decent amount of minutes. And, we can't say it's fine for Liverpool to have Isak and Ekitike, but for Newcastle to have Wissa and Strand Larsen is absolutely impossible. They are also in the Champions League. They could, in theory, play as many minutes as Liverpool this season. So if you think one works, then the other definitely works as well. But that said, I don't want, I disagreed with that argument with in a discussion with someone, but I still, I would not rule out the possibility that he just signed Strand Larsen and let Isak go. That's because Newcastle could be in a position now where they think we get a striker over the line, that makes things a little easier for us, and we just don't want this trouble anymore with Isak. We don't want to have to bother rehabilitating him. It's gone too far. We're not going to make this right, and he's not going to sign a contract. So we're putting ourselves in a lesser position, but maybe we've just got to suck it up because we've not done well around this window and we've not been prepared for this. We've got things wrong and we've missed out on targets. That absolutely is a possibility that they do that anyway. It's just I don't kind of buy the idea that they're happy that, oh, well, we don't need to replace Wilson because he only played 300 minutes. Like, any club with any sort of ambition should surely want two strikers in that position vying for places, even if they're not Isak and Ekitike quality. You'd still want that kind of strength and depth of sorts there, wouldn't you? So, I don't kind of buy into that idea, but I do think it's definitely on the table that they signed just one in Strand Larsen, say, and sell Isak regardless, because I think that would just be an acknowledgement of the fact that the Isak situation is completely untenable, really, more than thinking we don't need a Wilson replacement.